Alright, guys, good morning. It is Sunday. It's a little later than I normally get up. I'm usually up by now, but I was up late last night, sanding on the truck and hanging out with the fiance. So that makes a lot of sense there. I'm playing with this thing on my streaming software that gives me this little hat. It's interesting. I think it's funny. First aid. It'd be much more suited for like a Saturday night rather than a Sunday morning. But I think it's pretty cool. Anyhow, um, if you watched the live stream yesterday, well, there were two. One was Bondo, and then the other was Natty and I sanding the truck. I think we're almost done. There may be some little spots that we have to touch up or something, but I think for the most part that we're done with the actual sanding scuffing. Now we have to clean it off, which half tempted maybe I can do it today. Maybe I can swing it up. There's a little very small car wash here in town. Maybe I can swing it up there and just spray it off, because I'm not going to get to paint it today anyway. I got to work tonight, and oh shit, they go in early on Sunday, so that means I got to go in early too. Yay, that's great. I forgot about that. So, anyhow, there is a little bit of stuff. I gotta do the grill, and it's kind of pissing me off because the GMC like lettering or whatever on the grill is busted. It has been busted. Like there's three pieces, right? There's like the built-in, we'll call it the base of the GMC letters, and that's the big plastic molded part. And then there's what would be like the chrome outline with the shiny stuff on it. That's the outline of the letters, and then there's an insert into that's that red shiny kind of like resin material. All of mine are broke in some way, shape, or form. Like it's broke. I think the C's the worst. I think the C's completely gone. I think that the M's the only one with everything there, and then I think the G is missing something. I think the resin's missing. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, the letters are fucked, and I wanted to thought about redoing the grill, but I don't have anything to do it with. I could get like some mesh material or something and just throw something in there, but I don't really see the point in that. So, yeah, that's the last. Well, and the bumpers. Okay, so the bumpers, I I pulled them off because I wanted to like rust reform them. They're the old nice solid steel bumpers, so I am thankful for that. The rear bumper, is a little worse for the wear than the front. That underside, like, you gotta imagine like your bumper's got like this C shape, right? So all your rocks and your road salt and all that's bouncing up and hitting in there. So it's all nice and rusted. I tried to clean it up as best I could, and I threw on some rust reformer. I mean, again, it's not a show car. It's nothing that we're gonna need to last very long. There was like a dent or something. There was like a dent in the bumper. I pounded a little bit of that out. It was, I don't know what it was. Somebody at some point dropped something on it or something. Gave it a little crease, so I pounded that out a little bit. Looks marginally better, but I'm gonna paint them. I was kind of tempted to just do the truck bed coating, but I gotta get a decent kind. Like, I want the textured kind, but I'm gonna have to find a decent kind, because I don't think, like, I was looking at the store, $10 gets you a can of the Rust-Oleum truck bed coating. I have to do some research on those and see what they really like look like after they're sprayed, because I don't want it, I guess if I'm gonna do it, I don't want it to be like a really smooth finish, right? I want it to be kind of chunky and wavy. Number one, to hide some of my issues, right, therein with the Bondo. I was gonna just paint the bumpers black. I might still do that, because actually the truck bed coating might cause issues for like the step plates in the back and stuff. So maybe I will do that. Alright, turn that silly shit off. That's probably why nobody's coming in here. Oh, so I got my trusty tablet here. Okay, we're charging. I have to go shopping. Gotta go do some shopping, because when we, what? Hold on. Try our search widget. Dismiss. Search. Rock. Auto. Oh. Oops. There we go. Okay, so I'm going on to Rock Auto, because when we took the windshield wiper shroud off of the truck, I tried to be gentle, but it insisted on tearing apart in like 5 pieces. And no, it's not supposed to, not completely. So, what the fuck? I don't need help finding parts on Rock Auto. So, we're gonna search and see if they have it. Also, we need new mirrors for the truck. And I think there's something else. I gotta look. There's something else. we'll see what we find on the list. Sonoma. 2-2. Body. Okay, let's see what we have here. What do we got? We got... Okay, I can get a new air deflector. Oh, that's the thing for under the bumper. I might actually get that. They got one with fog lights and they got one without. Huh. Maybe I will get that. That's only like... Yeah, it's only like $11. Huh. Okay. Yeah, that... We might actually get that. It's already black, so we wouldn't even have to paint it, really. Okay. Back into body. I don't know where this windshield molding seal... Let's see if this... No, that's literally the windshield mold. Hello to my one person. I am shopping on Rock Auto for parts for the truck that broke yesterday when I was taking it apart. And it looks like I'm going to be SOL. I might have to go to a junkyard and find this. It's the windshield wiper shroud for in between the hood and the windshield, that plastic covering. The damn thing split into like 5 pieces when we were trying to take it off. And I am not seeing it. I see some other stuff. Hood prop retainer clip. Actually, I know I need that. Grill. What can you do with the grill? Oh shit. I can get a whole new grill for... I can get a whole new grill for this truck for $21. Now shipping might be expensive, but oh yeah, let me look at a picture of that. Oh, it's got the... Wait, that ain't even the one. They got that upside down? No, that ain't even the one for my truck. And I lost my one person. That's the one. 35. Yeah. That's the one. 35.89. I can't say that that's worth it. The SLS 36. What does it say? It's chrome? Oh, but that's different too. Yeah, so mine's $35. God darn it. Okay. So, no luck yet. Door sill plate? What's that? Oh. Oh. Oh, okay. They want an arm and a leg for that. Cow panel? Is that wiper? Oh, mother fuck. Their picture sucks, but it says it's a cowl panel for the wipers. Doesn't... I think it's like an aftermarket. It doesn't look like the original. I don't know. I can't tell. But either way, they want $173 for it. Maybe I'll check some different window scraper seal. What the fuck are they talking about? This just look like the windshield wipers to me. Okay, so they don't. Yeah, they don't have the windshield cowl. So I'll have to see. Maybe it fits from other vehicles. I don't know. I'll check other years and see. But I know I need some door hinge kits. Pins on these S10s are notorious for going out. So I know I need those. I need a couple of things. Alright guys, I will be right back. I'm gonna go use the restroom and get some more coffee. Nobody's here anyway. Alright, gentlemen, or nobody. I'm back. Man, it's a slow Sunday. I think last week I had at least like a few people in here. Okay, so what are they calling a bumper cover? Oh wow, there's really a bumper cover. Wonder if that's something I'm supposed to have, because mine's metal. I don't know. It's only $25, but again, bumpers and hoods and things all that shit, you're gonna pay. Protects wiper blades. Yeah, this has to be like aftermarket. Hood or wiper cowl. You pay shipping like hell on uh all the big stuff. It's I mean, we all get it, but it's kind of ridiculous. Like, what was it? On the Audi, and this pissed me off. On the Audi, I couldn't find a hood, so I ordered one on Rock Auto. I paid, it was like 100 something and 100 something shipping. So I paid, let's call it like, I don't know, 275, somewhere around there, like close to 300. So I paid that. Then literally, literally the next time I went down to LKQ for something, they had a perfectly fine Audi A4 with a hood, the exact one I needed, just sitting there. Which that would have cost me like maybe like 60, 70 bucks, I think. I don't think the color was right, if I remember right. It wasn't the maroon or burgundy or whatever the hell uh, that I have. But yeah, so it's interesting that I spent all that money, and then the next time I go down to LKQ, which it wasn't even that far. I don't even think I hadn't even gotten the Audi inspected yet. So it wasn't that long after, and I go down, and there's a hood sitting right there, perfect. So you gotta shop around, guys. Can't believe nobody's up. I would have figured some of you. I was up late, so I got up late. I figured you guys would be up a little earlier than this. I have the. Ooh, you know what I need? I need not the tailgate. I need that brake light, tail lamp assembly. Not those. I got a nice pair. That pair that I have, I got those on Amazon, and they're actually really good. I like the style of them. They should. What the? What the? Okay. And that. Okay. My tablet's acting funny. Okay, let's go to. Let's just go to like 2002. I think they still made them. Sonoma. Same engine. Surprising. Body. Let's see if we can get that wiper cowl panel. Nah, same thing. Still saying it's 173. And it says I think it's like an aftermarket thing. I don't think it's the actual cowl panel. I think that's that like the raised thing, kind of like the bug deflector. I think that'll go up here. Here's your windshield wipers. This will go up here, and then over here's your windshield. It's like one of those things, I guess. Grill. Oh, that must be nice. On theirs, the grills are removable. 2002. High mount brake light lens. Yeah, that's what I need. we're gonna go back though and go to our year. A lot of times the stuff for the older ones is gonna be cheaper because, right, newer car, they try to squeeze a little more money out of you. Sometimes, not always. Rock Auto, I don't think does it too much, but okay, 2.2 body. Where's that? What do they call it? High mount brake light. The whole damn. For the whole thing, they want $175. Those motherfuckers are crazy. Yeah, okay, same price. $12.81 for a new brake light lens. What happened to mine, and what it looks like, anyways, it looks like, I mean, it's an old truck, right? But it looks like they heated up over time. Maybe they were left on. It's the running light. Well, it's the brake lights. So really, yeah, I don't know. Somebody would have had to like sit with their brakes on. Anyhow, it literally heated up and melted the plastic, and there's like slits in it. So there's probably water getting into the cab from that. So we're gonna definitely need one of those. Standard cab, extended cab. What's the difference? It looks the same, but the standard cab is more. Why do they do this? Why? I'm not really liking this Rock Auto on. Okay. Yeah, $14. Okay. See, that looks right. That looks like it could be right too. So, can I just... .5 inch length, 3.2 inches. I'm checking the size, 3.4 inches. Okay, it is different, so I can't use it. Oh well. $15 brake light. Ain't that a bitch? See, that's the thing. They know when they have you by the balls, and you have to pay what they're asking. So yeah, we'll get that. What else do we need? I have headlights. I'm more than likely, yeah, I think it's gonna take some work. I gotta rewire them, but I think I'm switching back from the LED headlights that I have to the regular, whatever they are, halogen seal beams. I'm switching back because two reasons. Number one, I don't think that my LED headlights are actually DOT certified. They kind of diffuse the beam. They're more like a flood style beam. They light up everything, but I'm tired of people flashing their freaking brights at me because they think I have my brights on. When the LED headlights are on low beams, there's 6 LEDs lit, and people are still flashing their brights at me with 6 LEDs lit. When you actually turn the brights on, all 15 LEDs are lit. So as you can imagine, it's like the power of daylight uh, when you turn the brights on. And so, but I get flashed all the damn time. Hello to my one person. Whomever you may be, I am shopping on Rock Auto on my tablet for parts for the truck that got broken. Well, the hood cowl for the wipers. Um, and I found out that there's really not one. So I'm going to have to try to glue what I got left of mine together. Damn thing, it's old and it's crumbling. Either that or go down to the junkyard, OKQ, and hopefully steal one off of another vehicle. I wonder if LKQ's open today. I think they are. Doesn't really matter. I can go down there anytime. But we were looking around. I need a new brake light. The high mount, the third brake light over the cab of the truck. Mine got melted and it wore holes or slits into the plastic, so I need a new one. That's gonna run me about $15 because you can't, or maybe I can get that down at the junkyard too if I can find one in a good shape. So my original idea was to find another truck and buy it and put the engine in it, but I couldn't find anybody with a half decent truck. And then I did finally find one guy with a truck, an S10. It might have been a Sonoma. It was S10 Sonoma. It's all the same, right? But I found a guy, and it was perfect because the motor was blown. It had some damage on it, right? It was on like Facebook Marketplace or something. I think it's still there, actually. But it had some damage, and the motor was bad. So I messaged him, and he was asking like, I don't know, like $400 for this truck. And I'm like, well, man, if you're parting it out, I think at first I was just like I didn't really want the whole truck. It had more body damage than I would have wanted in a donor. So I was like, oh man, well, like, what about the tailgate and the seat and a couple other pieces that I wanted from the truck? I'm like, why don't you just sell me all those? He's like, man, if you just give me $400, I'll give you the whole truck. I'm like, I don't want the whole truck. How much for just the seat? And I forget what else I asked for. I know it was the seat, the tailgate, something else. Maybe some of the wheels for spares because I don't have any spares for the truck. Anyhow, I kept like asking him. He literally says he's parting out this truck, and I'm trying to get some of the pieces off of him, and he's like, "Oh, we'll just buy the whole truck." I don't want to buy the whole truck. How much for these pieces? And he wouldn't come up off it, and he kept wanting to sell me the whole truck, and I'm like, I don't want the whole truck, because like somebody had ran down the side of the bed. Hello, now I have 3 people. Been on here for 34 minutes. You guys have missed not much of the fun. But yeah, that was a weird one because the guy, and I'm sure he has a title or whatever, but he made no mention of it, and he just kept wanting to get rid of the whole damn truck because he was talking like yeah, I think when I finally got him to a price, he wanted like 300 something for all the parts that I said I wanted, and that's when he just wanted to, oh, well, just give me 400 and take the whole truck. So he was trying to get rid of his problem. That's what it was. He didn't want it sitting around wherever. But so on the tailgate, I think I'm going to take some 3/4 inch plywood and I'm going to make a tailgate. I have the one now that I made out of like, it's like fence boards or something. And I had been securing that with ratchet straps. Funny story. Okay, the first time I made that wooden tailgate, I put slide pin latches on it, but my dumbass just used screws that came with it to fix them. So I have the boards, right? They're like fence boards. They're, I don't know, half-inch thick, but they're kind of flimsy. And I have some brace boards running vertically on it. So I took these slide pin latches and mounted them on a block and then mounted that block to this tailgate. So, and I used bigger screws for the block, and then I used the screws that came with it. I wasn't thinking. And I used the mounting screws that came with the slide pin latches, and then I had those go into where your normal latches go for your tailgate. So it would hold itself up right there. And I put this thing on, and I was driving around everywhere with it. No big deal, right? Then, one day, I decided to get on the highway. Oops. Big mistake. I wasn't even off the on-ramp yet. I think I was just towards the end of the on-ramp where you start merging with traffic, and it must have been the little screws that I mounted the slide latches on with, because they just ripped off, and this wooden tailgate of mine goes flying up into the air over the car that's behind me, and then lands in the center lane of the highway. So, because it's my responsibility, I pull off to the side of the road and play Frogger, trying to dodge traffic to get into the highway to get this thing off. It got ran over by like 4 semis before I could get it, and surprisingly it's still in relatively one piece. But this time, with whatever I make, I think I'm going to do it out of solid piece of 3/4 inch plywood, and then we'll paint that, primer it and paint it and everything, so hopefully the moisture doesn't affect it as bad. But this time I'm going to put bolts all the way through the slide pins, that way, with nuts on the other side, that way they can't come apart. And we will do it that way, because right now I'm using these ratchet straps. They're self-ratcheting. They're like automatic, automatically they wind back up. So they're kind of short. They're only like 6 foot or something, but I had those crossed over to hold this wooden tailgate on. And that got really old. Anytime you wanted to get into the bed, you had to undo these ratchet straps. So I can't, at the moment, put a tailgate on it. Because, number one, I can't find one. Number two, they're fucking expensive. Even at the junkyard, I think they want like 125 plus for a tailgate. So I'm cheap. I'm not going to do that. So I'll just make one out of wood, and that'll give me something to do after I paint the truck. And then, ooh, I wonder if maybe I'll have to keep some paint. I should have extra, but I'll have to paint that the same color as the truck. Ooh, that sucks. I didn't think about that. Oh well, what are you gonna do, right? So, yeah, I'm shopping on Rock Auto for my 2 people that are actually watching a little bit. I was trying to find that windshield wiper cowl. Can't find it. So we're gonna have to junkyard that. We're gonna check at the junkyard for the high mount brake light because mine's all old and worn out and probably leaking. I still have to sand. The only thing I have left to sand down is the grill that I took off the truck. The bumpers are gonna be black. I think that'll just be a regular spray paint, so that should be fine. Uh, the rest of the lower portion under that body line, the wheel wells and down the side of the bed and all that, that's gonna be truck bed coating. But I gotta find a good kind because I want it to kind of be like the high build, because I've seen some that are kind of smooth once you actually spray them. I mean, not smooth, right? But smoother. I want that like thick, kind of ripply looking truck bed coating. So we'll see what I can come up with there. I'll have to do a little research into how they look after they're sprayed, but we're going to do the green over the whole truck. Then that lower body line is going to be black with truck bed liner. And then both of the bumpers, front and back, are going to be regular gloss black. And so then, yeah, we're going to have to do this wooden tailgate's going to have to be the same green as the truck. Huh. That sucks, because I haven't made it yet. Maybe I need to make that. Well, no. I probably could make it before I paint. Maybe. We'll see how this week goes. I'm running out of time. I gotta paint this truck before I leave for the wedding. So that's... we're closing in on 2 weeks. Thursday will be 2 weeks to the wedding. So, yeah. We gotta hurry up. But the good news is, as far as the main portion of the truck right now, it's all sanded down. If any of you two lovely people saw either of the live streams yesterday, it's almost all sanded down. I gotta wipe it clean, and then I can paint. I just gotta get the grill. The grill's gonna have to be painted the same color as the truck, so I gotta sand the grill and get that ready too. And then once that's ready, minus the tailgate thing, then that would be enough to paint the entire truck. So a little bit more work. I might drive that bitch up to the might just get it up to the car wash today. There's a little one in town. I might be able to squeak up there without any brake lights and just drive up there and see if I can rinse that bitch off real quick, because I'm not real keen on washing it like outside or anything. I don't even think I have a hose out back that reaches that far. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting day. I'll try to get a little bit done. It's real weird though. Like, I kind of figured they would have more stuff on Rock Auto, but they really don't. Don't have much for it at all. They do have, what are they calling a hood insert? Ram Air style hood insert. What? Oh, is it like a crappy, I think it's a cowl. Like one of those. Yeah. I think it's like the little hood cowl. Plastic stick hood prop rod retainer clip. I know I need that. Yeah, that's $3. I need that because mine just lays around. I definitely need that. Headlamp assembly for mine, $41. And they say they only have the left. That's funny. Alright. Who is my one person? Who are you? You've been in here for a while. You haven't said anything. Do you want to announce yourself at all? No? That's the thing with these S10s and Sonomas. There's a lot of different slight changes in the body styles and they left. There's a lot of different changes in the body styles, in the headlight configurations, in the grills and the looks of said vehicles. So it's really kind of interesting, right? That you can do so much stuff. You can change this for that. Like I could, if I really wanted to, put an updated front end with the composite style headlamps on it and all that stuff. I'd have to change out the grills and different things, but I could do that if I really wanted to. So, but I'm not going to because I'm cheap. We're trying to get this whole thing done real cheap. So, it looks like I'm gonna need to make a trip to the junkyard soon and see what I can find there as far as parts. Bumper end, I think that's, yeah, that's the pieces I already bought. Those were pretty cheap. I already got them. Yeah, I already bought those. Those are the plastic pieces for the front and the rear that fill in the body of the truck from the bumper to the side. On the back they're big and plastic, and on the front they're something else. Okay, well, if you made it this far into the live stream, then I should probably tell you that there is a bunch of stuff on sale on Sears.com. The Craftsman Evolve, which I don't have a lot of experience with, but we know a couple of things. We know number one, it's Craftsman, so theoretically it's got a lifetime warranty if you can get them to honor it. And a lot of this stuff is crazy cheap right now. I mean, I can go on here, Sears.com. Go. Give me just a moment, my two faithful viewers. When I hop on Sears.com here, we are going to look at some of this Evolve stuff that's on sale, and the prices. The last time, I'm not even on Wi-Fi. Why am I not on Wi-Fi? The last time I looked at it, the prices were lower than, oh wow, spend $100, get $15 cash back, 70% off select tools. Okay, I don't know about that, but if we go up in the search bar at the top, we're going to type Evolve think that's how they spell it. It's like evolve without an E, I think. I said go. Why is it not? The fuck? Okay, sorry. Taking a minute apparently. My tablet's weird. Like it's got its own cellular network, and it seems like half the time it doesn't want to work on Wi-Fi because of that. So I don't know what the heck's going on there. Okay, so I'm gonna do my best here to. Oh, I need it higher. Okay, so if you look here, we have, and of course the charger's going all nuts. We have, what is that, the 1/4 inch? What will you fucking, no, Google. Stupid shit. Oh, technical difficulties. Okay.
Are you saying I'm one key short of a full keyboard? I can't argue.
Why the fuck is... Okay, apparently I never disabled some of the Google dumb shit on this tablet, but... The fuck? Okay. But, the 1/4 inch is $5.94 with sockets. 1/4 inch set, $5.94. I'm guessing that's the 3/8 set here. Same kind of setup, bunch of sockets, and a ratchet. $9.94. Then we go over a little further, if you can actually see that. And there's a socket set. It's just like a 1/4 inch IVE. I don't know what that means. Standard, it looks like. $194 for that socket set. And then you can go down a little. There's a bigger tool set. That's still like $59. That's whatever. But there's the 3/8 drive little socket set for $394. They got a deep impact socket set. Here's the another 1/4 inch set, 10-piece set for $1.94. They got the impact socket set, $30. That doesn't seem like that big a deal. Screwdrivers and standard wrenches, they got those on sale cheap. 10-piece screwdriver set, $7.94. A 6-piece screwdriver set, $4.94. There's the little $22 homeowners kit, and there are some, if it'll focus, there's some, what are they, hex or Torx? Torx bits. Oh no, what it, oh, don't, Jesus, I hate this. I'm trying to show you what I'm doing, and I keep hitting shit. Yes. This tablet, man. Okay, back to where we were. Okay, yeah, they're Torx bit sets for $7.99. It's a 7-piece, so like $1 a bit there. More wrenches, some wire cutters for what is that, $2.94? It's not bad. They're the little like 4-inch set. I'm unplugging this. They're like the little 4-inch set. They also have that tool bag though. It's like one of the open-ended, but it's like $23.94. That, I mean, I'm sure it's not a bad deal, but that's, you're killing me at $23 for that. Then we have some pliers for what, $3.94. Is there something that I can do to invert? No, at least not yet. Maybe that's a setting I could change before I start. Try to invert this screen. And then there's the hex bit set for $7.99. They got the channel lock crescent wrench, but that doesn't seem to be on sale because it's not marked red, and they want $17 for that. That seems a little high. So then here, standalone ratchets, which don't appear to be on sale, but more hex. So I'm thinking that's on sale, right? 40-piece Ultimate Impact set. I can't see it in the picture. You just see the blow molded case, but they want $90. Supposedly it's $10 off. And then next to that is what looks to be a shallow impact socket set for $30. More impact sockets, some knives, code readers. Now we're getting into all the other stuff that doesn't matter. OTC code reader, diagnostic bundle. Why do you need a subscription to these damn code readers? If you buy it, it should just fucking work. Like, why? Why would it be like that? Okay, so it's not crazy, right? But like $5 for a set of a 7-piece set of Craftsman wrenches. I mean, that's not too bad, you know. And then you could get some screwdrivers. You could get some other stuff. The socket sets at like a couple of bucks for the 1/4 inch. That's not bad. And then those, if I had half a mind, I'd order a bunch of those for gifts, right? Give that shit away. Just bought a bunch of stuff yesterday, though. For who's my one person? Who are you? I don't know if you're the same person that was in here forever earlier, but regardless, I thank you. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff on sale at Sears.com as far as the Craftsman stuff. And some of it's a pretty good deal, considering. One of my buddies, Cooter, mentioned that on Facebook yesterday, and I didn't have a whole lot of time to check it out, but I looked into it a little bit before I went to sleep last night, and then I'm telling you happy folks about it this morning. Now, I posted a video last night of the Tractor Supply shopping trip, and I bought a lot of stuff. Probably my favorite, what kicked off the whole damn shopping spree, was it's a 3/8 on one side, 1/2 inch on the other, ratchet, right, with an extendable handle, and it's a hammerhead. Like, it's made to beat on shit with. So you have an extended handle, 3/8 and 1/2 inch drive ratchet that can also be used as a hammer. It's fucking awesome. So I bought, those were in the discount bin. I bought 3 of those. I'm going to keep one for myself, and then I'll give 2 away. I bought, for $10, I bought this screwdriver set. It's in the video. I bought 2 of those. Yes, Robert, anything is a hammer. Finally, somebody, after being on here 59 minutes, and there's been people in and out, finally somebody makes a comment. Robert, I thank you. No, yeah, but this is specifically made to allow it to function as a hammer. So it's really interesting. I love those extendable handles, man. Like, Uh, my favorite ratchet from Harbor Freight is that 3/8 and quarter. And so then when I saw that thing, and it's 3/8 and half inch, and the damn thing's like this fucking long already. So then you can extend that handle, and you can use it as a hammer if you need to. It'd be great for like doing like lag bolts and stuff, which I don't do a lot at home, obviously, but I do at work. So I don't know. If I cared enough, I would take one in there and let those fuckers use it, but I don't think I care that much. So I will keep mine and I will give the other two away to you fine people. And then the screwdriver set, it's like $10, right? And it comes with a bunch of bits, which they all fucking screwdriver sets seem to. But it's got a decent amount of regular screwdrivers, and it's got the precision screwdrivers. It's got a fair amount of those, and then a shitload of bits, and it's all in like a plastic stand. I've seen similar sets from Work Pro and other various brands on like Amazon and things going for double uh, that price. So while they may not be the best screwdrivers in the world, uh, for $10, it's not bad. So I picked one up. I picked up a second one. I'll give that one away as well. I tried to grab a decent amount of stuff. I grabbed at the last minute. I went back. Uh, yeah, I did a video on that, Robert. If you didn't see it, I just did um, a giveaway, and I gave two of them away. The funny thing, one of the guys was in Florida, right? Which, okay, Florida, whatever. But then the other guy that I was just going through and picked a comment, and that was the guy I chose. Um, he sends me his address, and it was in Ohio, and it was a town I'd never really like specifically heard of. And I'm like, okay, so I sent it out to him. But then after I sent it out, I was coming home, and I'm like, well, I just want to look this up, like see where this dude's town is or whatever. So I look it up, and this dude's literally 30 minutes away from me, straight shot up the main road that cuts through my town. Like I could have driven it to him and handed it to him easier and cheaper than mailing it, which I thought was kind of funny. But yeah, so I gave away the two of the Stanley flex head ratchets, but on those, and I don't know if I'll do this with the big black one. I doubt those big extendable ratchets will really need a comfort grip handle. But on the Stanleys, I from the hand grip video that I did, I bought more of the cold shrink tubing, and I put handles on the Stanley ratchets, so they have a rubber grip now, and sent those out. So they are, and I kept one for myself, sent the other two out. So that should be a really nice ratchet for those people that received those. But I did go back at the last minute, like we were checking out. I went back at the last minute. I grabbed me like a little tiny Smith & Wesson pocket knife deal. And then I can't remember. I'd have to go out in the garage and check because I took everything out there. I can't remember if I grabbed the 5-piece ratcheting wrench set or if I grabbed the 7. I kind of think I grabbed the 5. I'm not sure though. But I grabbed SAE and Metric. They're cheap in-house brand ratcheting wrenches. So I have those to give away too sometime in the future. So I think I stocked up on stuff for giveaways for a little bit, which is nice. That bargain bin, I mean, my buddy sent me a text yesterday. We were getting ready to take a break on the truck anyway, and he sent me a text. He's like, yeah, man, you might want to go down there. They got some good deals. And I honestly, It sounds like whatever, and you can make fun of me if you want. I never really had shopped. I've shopped like online at Tractor Supply for a couple of things, and had them shipped, but I never really shopped in the store. I've never like physically gone there. Um, and so I was like, okay, fuck it. Like, we'll go down there before we go to dinner. So me and my fiance ran down. And I don't know if that bargain bin is something that, well, Robert, the idea is to, okay. Here's my idea, and I wish more people would jump on. Like, is my content like super crazy awesome? Some of it's helpful. Some of my how-tos, or we're gonna go get some coffee and you guys are gonna walk with me. Some of my how-tos and stuff can be pretty helpful. As far as I need to get back into some of the co-part videos that I do. Try to set you guys down here while I'm getting my coffee. The co-part videos that I do, if you haven't seen, it's like the salvage auctions, right? But I need to get back into doing some of that content because it's my most popular video is on salvage auctions, or well, salvage inspections rather, and going over that process and what you need to know. And that's almost up to 20,000 views. And that's literally almost half of the views for my entire channel come from that one video. So I really need to get back to trying to make some of that content. But the whole idea... Now you have an excuse to buy the 7 as well. Yes. Yeah, well, that's part of the thing, man. When I'm out and I'm shopping, okay, hopefully I mixed this right. I never really like measure the stuff in my coffee. I just kind of pour stuff in and hope for the best. All right, and we survived. It's good. So the thing is, when I'm out shopping and I see like spilling coffee, I'll survive. When I'm out and I see tool deals or some little cheap, whatever the hell, and it's on sale or it's not a bad price and it's small, usually small, I always think, like, my mind always goes to like, oh, like I could do a giveaway with that. Which I get what you mean about moochers, Robert, but the whole idea behind my channel, besides, obviously making half decent content, like, I want to get to a point, like, there's this guy, can't remember the name of his channel. It's like Tradesman's Shop Talk. He just recently kind of rebranded. It used to be like a HVAC only kind of channel, and then he's opened it up to more of the trades. But the dude's, I want to say he's about the size of like the Den of Tools, right? Like, I don't know, like they're 20, somewhere between 20 and 40,000, maybe 50,000 subscribers. He runs a professional looking live stream. Like, it looks great, and everything's pretty good with it. So he runs that pretty well, and it's like a radio show. You can call in, like, he does all this stuff. But anyway, I digress. He gives shit away like there's no tomorrow. Like, I mean, a lot of it's like trade related, like flow meters and different testing equipment for HVAC, some electrician stuff, some and if, like, I've seen a couple of them where if you don't really need the tool that he's giving away, he'll just give you like $100 gift card or whatever to Amazon or I don't know where. But so he does that, And like he is always giving stuff away. And that's kind of my idea. Once I can monetize this channel, once hopefully I break that barrier and I start really gaining some people as far as subscribers and viewers, then if I can get up to that level, right? Like let's just say 5,000 subs, and let's say my channel does exponentially um, better compared to what it's doing now. So right now I get about 40,000 views a month, give or take. Or, I'm sorry, watch time, fucking whatever. So I already have the watch time to be monetized. I just need the subscribers. And if I can get there, and if I had about 5,000, I'd probably be making. It'd have to be at least like $300 or $400 a month. Let me see what Robert's saying. I just watch YouTube videos of people work to have noise in my shop that doesn't make me dumber for listening. Yeah, and that's cool too. And I do that a lot for some of my friends' channels and things that are going on, live streams and different things. I mean, if I can't dedicate myself to actually watch the content at that moment, like sometimes I'll just throw it on. I have premium, so I can play it when the screen's off on my mobile or whatever. Like it'll autoplay, and so I try to help people that I like on their channels by watch. I try to actually watch it, but if I can't in that moment, I'll let it play and then I'll try to rewatch it later, whatever. But I digress, Robert. You're distracting me. Okay, so assume I get a decent amount of monetization and I'm actually pulling in, I don't know, a couple $100 a month or something. That's gonna help me buy more tools for reviews and help me do other videos and things. I'm probably gonna be on the camp of like wanting to give more stuff away. Okay, because like not a lot of people do that. Not too many. I mean, like I've seen a couple of channels, like my buddy Unwrecked. He's over in Pennsylvania somewhere. Don't know exactly where, but he rebuilds wrecked cars, kind of like most of my content's supposed to be on this channel, but I haven't had a project. And with the wedding and everything, that's where most of my money's going. So, yeah, I can't afford to buy another wrecked car project at the moment. So that's why I'm fixing up the truck in the manner that I am. But anyway, so he's got a channel, and like I've seen him do like a giveaway or two, and he's monetized, and he's got like a decent amount of subscribers. I think it's like 16 or 20,000 or something. But he did like a code reader scanner thing, and it was a decent one. So, I mean, I've seen him do that, but to my knowledge, that's the only one I've seen him do. And a couple of these other guys, like the Den of Tools, I don't really see him giving away shit. Which, I'm not ragging on him. I'm just saying, he's one of the biggest YouTubers as far as tools go. And I just don't see him giving away that much. I know this is his job, though. Right? So, it's his job. It's technically how he makes his living or whatever. So, I mean, that plays into it. But I think if I had a channel where I could give away, let's just say, if I could give away a $50 tool, whatever it would happen to be, every Friday, right? Consistently. If I had enough monetization and money coming in to where I could do that, right? Yeah. I mean, the Den of Tools has a lot of stuff going on. So I don't know how all that works, but I'm just saying I don't see him doing a lot of giveaways. Which it's not necessarily the hallmark of a good channel, right? But I think, like, I don't know, just me personally, like, I want to give back to the people. Like, I know when J.K. Canvas sent me those flare nut wrenches, it's been like over a year ago, like, that amazed me. Because at that point, I had already done like one or two giveaways. And then all of a sudden, he sent me an email and he's like, hey, what's your address? I want to send you something. And it came in the mail and it was, and they were nice. They were Crescent, I want to say, and Tecton, um, for the SAE and the metrics. So, I mean, just like me getting something like that, I know I was floored. It was really awesome of him to do. So, so, um, if I could do that though, if I could give back to more people, I mean, yeah, the idea there is, yeah, you're gonna get some of these people that are just kind of there for the giveaways. But chances are, if it's like a live or if they're watching videos to watch out for giveaways, they're gonna hopefully be like participating, right? They're gonna be in the comments talking about tools or what's good, what's bad. You know, if it's a live stream, hopefully they'll interact with the other people like Jethro, giving us too much information. You know, hopefully it would be something like that. But see, there's my idea. Like, okay, like the Den of Tools just got his icon box, right? And the Humble Mechanic got a similar setup. So they're two of the bigger YouTubers. And they both got the full, what is it, the 54-inch double bay setup. And then Dow just posted sometime over the weekend, I think it was Friday, that he got it looked like the 56-inch or 52-inch or whatever box, the double bay, but I didn't see anything else with it. It was just the base cart, right? Whatever the $4,000 fucking debacle is. So, okay, now that's just an example, but like, okay, hear me out on this. What if I could, if I got big enough to where, and we're just using toolboxes as an example, but if I got big enough to where every 3 months I could give away a 72-inch tool chest triple bank of some brand. We're not even going to go into brands and what's worth it and what's not. Let's assume it wouldn't be the cheapest brand out there. Like, okay, maybe it'll be Husky, maybe it'll be Extreme Tools, who knows. But if I could do that every 3 months and give away a toolbox and still afford the shipping or whatever the fuck would go along with getting it to whoever, I think that would be huge. And like, yeah, the Tool Boss, he's a great channel and he does a decent amount of giveaways and just product reviews. That dude's killing it. Like, I think he's way bigger than the Den of Tools. But it's weird. Like, when you really start looking at how all this goes, guys, like, I found, who was it? Budget Tools. I watched him for a while, like, some time ago before I started my channel. And then he hadn't done anything for a while. And then I kind of found him again. I know that sounds weird when you talk about something that you're subscribed to, but like, you know how YouTube is. Like, you don't see stuff sometimes unless you're looking for it. But I found him again and I was like, oh shit, like, yeah, like he did a video on Icon. And I was like, oh shit, like he's back, And then as I was going through the comments, and I don't know if this was because it was an Icon video or what exactly the cause was, but as I was going through the comments of this Icon video Budget Tools did, the first video in like over a year that he had done, I'm going through the comments And there's all the fucking people that I know and hang out with. I want to say Yoda Doug was in there. Client Graphics might have said something. Chris might have been in there. But anyhow, there was a lot of the same people that I see. So like YouTube has its own little sections of people, right? And we're all in the tool community. And like I think like over here's Tool Boss, right? And over here's like Denna Tools. And there's like that old circle graph, and then somewhere in there there's this little overlap of some people that know each, but like a lot of the people on the Denna Tool side are like your Harbor Freight, cheap shoppers, which there's nothing wrong with that. I'm often cheap myself, but like the Tool Boss, he seems more like, yeah, and Robert, you can work out of a $300 box. I mean, I will say the stuff I have in my garage is very cheap. I probably need to address that sometime in the future when money gets freed up a little bit. But I have a couple little Stanley boxes that I got for a crazy deal from like Home Depot or some shit a few years back, and they're not bad, but they're real thin, and I think the one side even buckled a little bit, so now the drawers are hard to pull because the one wall's got a crease in it. They're not bad, but yes, you can work out of a cheap box. So, but like what I was saying with the Tool Boss, he's more like almost like a contractor kind of channel. I mean, it spans over, right? But it's definitely not mechanic, right? Oriented in general. He seems more like general contractor, carpenter, electrician, the guys that are buying Milwaukee and a little bit more of the brand name stuff. So his channel is like that. The Den of Tools is like your cheap Harbor Freight kind of DIYers, sort of. So there's different categories, I guess, and I still don't know where I fit. Like I started the channel because I was bored and I was working on a lot of cars, and I was rebuilding these wrecked Copart cars, and that was great at first. And then I was like, okay, well, I'll throw in some general car repairs. Well, okay, so I threw some of that in, and I realized that I was going to need other content to fill the void in between projects and stuff. So I was like, oh, okay, like I'll throw in like tool reviews and tool shopping and shit. And I did that, and that was all well and good. And now, like I was saying earlier, I need to get back to a little bit more of the Copart salvage car content, because I've helped like thousands of people. And I mean, okay, we're probably approaching 1,000. It's got to be at least like 700 minimum emails to my Just Wrench It email account, people directly asking me questions about their salvage vehicles. There's a lot in the comments, so I count some of those too, because some of them were more detailed questions. But I've helped a lot of people from that video with their salvage inspections. I even had one guy offer to send me money because it was one of these, and I get this a lot from people because of that video. Like, they buy a car and they had no idea. Like, the seller was apparently a dick or trying to fuck them or whatever, and they buy a car and had no idea it was salvaged. And like in a lot of the cases that I seem to be hearing about, what it sounds like is that the person buys the salvage, let's say they fix it, whatever, and then either they don't want to go through the inspection, or they never kept their receipts for the inspection, or whatever happens. So then they decide to sell the car because they don't want to deal with the hassle anymore. So then this new person buys this car they think is okay, and then come to find out it's a salvage and it needs inspected, and they don't know what to do. So I've probably helped, just that scenario alone, I've probably helped, it's got to be like over 200 people emailed me with almost that same exact situation. Like, we have this car, it needs to be inspected, but it's already fixed, we have no receipts for it, what do we do? And so what I do for those people is I figure out where they're at, right, location wise. I look up the information on their specific rules, which they're all generally about the same. There are some states that are a little more lenient, but they're all generally about the same. So I get a hold of the contact information for the inspector station themselves, right? Uh, they make it hard sometimes to find the phone number because they don't want to field a bunch of calls. So uh, I'll get a hold of their state's inspectors and get the contact information, and then give them that and tell them, like, look, this has happened before, it happens all the time. Yeah, you kind of got fucked, right? But if you get a hold of these inspectors and you talk to them, explain the situation to them, they're gonna figure out a way to make it right, you know? Yeah, once I get married, I don't know who spends more. I think it's like her. Like, once I start buying tools, she starts buying other shit. Like, yesterday she bought snow boots for my daughter, and a knife and a flashlight. Ooh, stay right here. Check this out. She decided that she had to have this for work. It's the most expensive fucking toy. It's not going to focus. It's actually a crescent wrench. It is a 4-inch crescent wrench that goes all the way up to 1/2 inch. I don't know what the metric, 15 millimeter? 14, 15 millimeter. But yeah, she decided she needed this at work for the diffusers on the robots. They have diffusers for the gas, then the diffuser also holds the tip for the welding robot. So she wanted this to change the diffusers out at work. And this was $7. $7 fucking. It's ridiculous. But I forget where I was. I know Robert was talking about I'll never have money again, and that's true. But I helped all these people out, and I get them in touch, and this one guy email me back, and they will. And again, they've seen this 1,000 times, these inspectors. So I can't say I've never been in that situation, and I don't know what they specifically do to help these people out, but one way or another they do make it right, and these people get these cars back on the road somehow. But yeah, one of the guys that went through this was very thankful because I apparently saved him a bunch of hassle, and it wasn't as bad. He said it wasn't as bad as he thought, and the inspectors were really nice and worked with him. So yeah, he offered to send me like money. He was like asking me for like a PayPal or something. And at the time, this was like over a year ago. And I was like, yeah, I mean, like, no, like, it's not all that. Like, I don't want your money. I just, I do the video to help people, and I don't mind like looking up information and helping you get in touch with your people. But so I mean, that stuff can happen. And that's cool, right? But Like, I need to get back to some of that content, but I do. Like, the whole idea of the channel is to honestly get big enough to where I can give stuff away that actually makes a difference to people. You know, to where I can try new tools that come out, and let's assume that they're actually half decent. Like, I'll give it away. Like, you know, I'm not going to need everything, right? So I have no problems giving stuff away. And I know people enjoy it, right? Like, okay, like here, for instance, I have these and I don't know what I'm going to do with them because I bought a Bauer drill. I know. I bought a Bauer drill, right? The kit with the battery and everything. And then I bought a hyper tough $22 whatever drill at the store. My idea was I was going to do a comparison video between the Bauer drill and the shittiest drill I could find to see how they stacked up. There was only one thing I didn't count on. The Hyper Tough is not selectable speed. It only has one speed. And based on that, it's not really a fair comparison because the Hyper Tough is like 0 to 600 RPMs and it's only gear that it has. And then the Bauer drill on speed 1 is like, I want to say it's like something like 450 or something. And then obviously, like the second speed's like, I don't know, 1500 or whatever the top speed is there. But it doesn't correlate enough. I mean, yeah, I could still do a test and it would be okay if I did it maybe on just the low speed, but I think the Hyper Tough is going to outperform on the low speed because it's got a higher torque capability and higher speed on the low speed than the Bauer does. And so then I'm probably not going to do that video. So now here I have these drills. I'm probably going to give them away. I don't want the Bauer. I'm not interested in the Bauer lineup. I have my Ryobi. I have my Cobalt. I don't need either of those. And the Hyper Tough, I will say, is actually, it's got like a thermo uh, overload built in, or like an overcurrent to the motor overload, but it times out after a second, so I'm thinking it's thermal. It's one of those like copper filaments that bends up when it gets hot and then goes back down. Anyhow, so it's got one of those. I was reattaching gate fencing outside the other day, and I went into the garage. It was like 7 a.m. and I just grabbed the drill, and it was the Hyper Tough. I put a 3-inch. It's bigger than a decking screw. It's a 3-inch Phillips, but I mean it's the fucking big boy. It's like a PH 3 or 4 head size. So I mean it's the big screws. I put that into a 4x4 with that little tiny Hyper Tough drill, and it cut out a couple of times for overcurrent, but then you just like let go of the trigger for a second and then re-engage it and it goes. I mean, so yeah, I mean it struggled a little bit to get it in there, but I mean it is like a little tiny $20 drill, and it got them in there all by itself, like no hand tightening anything with a screwdriver or anything like that. So for a $20 homeowner drill with only like I think it's a 3/8 chuck, it's really not that bad. But again, the comparison video, I could compare it to my Ryobi, and I don't know, maybe I will compare the Bauer to the Ryobi, but the thing on that is my batteries for the Ryobi are old as sin, so they're probably not going to be up to par. The newer batteries that I have are the what are they, the 3 amp hours, I think, the big boys, or at least one of the big boys. So I can't do a direct battery comparison as far as discharge time and charging time because the batteries aren't new. But the Bauer, I will say, like when I first opened it up, okay, um, my Ryobi feels sturdy, right? Like, and that was one of the things I bought, like the 4-piece kit when I bought my house 4, 5, I think going on 6 years ago. Yeah, something like that. Going on 6 years ago. Bought my house, and after I bought my house, I bought that 4-piece Ryobi toolkit. Sawzall, flashlight, circular saw, and drill. Um, and I've had it all that time. And the drill has always felt solid. At work, we use a lot of DeWalt, and occasionally we get like some Makita or some Bosch, um, or there has been some Milwaukee stuff. We had the Milwaukee cordless ratchets, the M12s. We had those. So I mean, we get a variant. So I don't always deal with cheap tools, and the Ryobi has always felt comparable to like the DeWalt or some of these other higher end. And in that, I mean, when you're holding it, it feels sturdy. It's got some weight to it. It doesn't feel like a toy, right? It doesn't feel cheap. When I first opened that Bauer drill and I put the battery on it and I'm sitting there playing with it, the first thing that came to mind was, number one, how little it seemed to weigh in my hand. Right? It it wasn't very heavy. It smelled funny, which is it's awesome because AVE, he's always talking about stuff like that when he buys this stuff, and it smells like China or whatever he happens to say about it. Uh, it actually did. It had a very pungent smell of plastics and manufacturing, so it was kind of off-putting. But so it smelled funny, and it feels cheap. It feels like a toy. I mean, it's got a little bit of weight to it, but it's something about the plastic. The grip feels like smaller than maybe it needs to be, like in your hand, and I have relatively small hands for a guy, so a guy with big hands is probably not gonna like it feels skinny, like around, like when you're holding the handle of the drill, it's like skinny. And like because of that, like you got this battery weight here, you have this skinny feeling handle, and then you got the weight of the drill motor on top, and the I had a hair in my mouth, and then the weight, the distribution is kind of okay, but the plastic just feels cheap. Like okay, when you're holding a Hyper Tough, the really really cheap one, like that number one, it's really light, and for the power that thing has, it's actually really nice because it's so lightweight. Like you can do a lot with it. Like if you had to hold your arm fully extended, like way up, and drill something or drive something in, that would be a great drill for it, provided that it could actually do the driving that you're trying to get it to do because it's so light. But the Bauer, it's got more weight and the balance isn't horrible, but it's something with the plastic. It feels cheap. It feels like a toy. The Hyper Tough kind of feels that way, and it should, because it's the drill motor is very small, right? Much smaller on the Hyper Tough. But the Bauer, you're paying, they want 69, right? With the coupon, you can get it at 59 if the Bauer coupon's active, which right now it seems to be. So they're trying to get people into that Bauer line. So for $59, you can get uh, this drill. Number one, you get into Ryobi for that price point. Number two, a little bit more, and you can get into actual like DeWalt territory, especially now that they have their new, what is it, the atomic stuff coming out, the XR and the Flex stuff that they have, the Flex Volt, all that stuff's going to be dropping in price a little bit. Maybe the Flex not so much, but definitely the XR. So, you're talking, let's assume $69 full price for a Bauer drill. You can get, you can get rigid. You could go with so many more better companies. Ryobi for one. Hell, even Menard's Master Force, I think, probably be a better deal than that. And a lot of these companies, like, they're expanding their drill lines, and they're doing kind of like what Ryobi's doing, and that's what they're trying to do with the Bauer line, is have all these tools under one battery, so that you just buy these tools, like, for the sake of you use the same battery. Well, they're not going to get contractors, right? Not on that. So they're geared more towards homeowners, right? So I'm not impressed with the Bauer stuff. I know a lot of guys are. I just don't see it. Not for the price point. I think you could get into a much more reliable tool brand. Plus, there's the fact that right now, what is it? The best battery they have is like I want to say it's a 3 amp hour. I want to say. I don't know for sure. I know that was a point of contention, that they don't have a multi-charger out, even though in my video, Bauer tools you can't buy, I've exposed that the company that makes some of the Bauer tools has a multi-port charger for the Bauer tools, and it's nowhere to be found. So that's interesting. And they don't have anything bigger than like a 3 amp hour. I think that is correct. I think the 3 amp hour battery is the biggest thing they got. So there's no 4 amp hour, there's no 6, there's no 9, which you can get in Ryobi and pretty much every other major cordless tool brand that needs it. I think Milwaukee's, some of theirs are limited. I know the M18 you can get the bigger ones, but as far as like the M12s, the fuel, there's like the two style batteries. There's the one, the kind of cartridge style, that fits into the form of the handle of most of the tools, and then there's the, I guess it's the extended battery with the square bottom on that cartridge for the extended life. But that's about it in terms of those. The M18 has a little more options as far as the bigger batteries, but the Bauer drill line, no multi-port charger, and the biggest battery you can get is a 3 amp hour. And I haven't tested that Bauer drill out too much, but I don't think the batteries themselves are that bad. And I think when AVE pulled one apart, I want to say, at least in the one that he had, they were genuine, or at least appeared to be genuine Samsung cells inside the battery. So, I mean, that's good, but the price of those cells is coming down, right? So, cheap batteries are not what they used to be. They used to be like rampant everywhere, and now the lithium ion technology has come a long way. So I don't think people mind paying a little extra for the good batteries now, because that's the first thing. If a battery powered anything has a shitty battery, that's the first thing that goes out in the reviews and in the word of mouth about tools. I remember when the cordless tools were still all pretty new, and a lot of people were hesitant to get them because they'd say that you spend all this time charging them just to use them for like a half an hour, 40 minutes, and then you got to put it right back on the charger. And at that point, batteries were even more expensive than they are now. Um, a lot of people didn't see a lot of value in the cordless tools when they were, first becoming uh, commercially available. And then over time, the battery technology has gotten better and the prices have come down. And yeah, I mean, the batteries are still sort of expensive, but when you're paying 100 and some bucks for a 9 amp hour battery for your Ryobi or whatever, that's worth it because that 9 amp hour battery is gonna fucking last. You need to charge that thing like once every 6 months, maybe. Um, and then now Ryobi has a little inverter coming out. Well, they had one small one that they did, and it was like, I want to say it was like 150 watt. It wasn't much. But then now they have another one coming out. I didn't see a lot about it uh, as far as the specs. It was like I think it was Tool Guide, um, his like .com or .net, and I was looking at it, and he was talking about it, and I want to say it's gonna run on the 40 volt. I want to say it's gonna run on the 40 volt batteries, and it's up to like 1500 watts. So you get like three 110 outlets, a couple USB ports, and it runs on 40 volt batteries, to my knowledge. So uh, that's really interesting. And see, that's one of the reasons why a lot of people like Ryobi, and a lot of people are starting to copy off Ryobi as far as the expanded product lineups, because like most of your DeWalt and your other contractor grade companies, most of them didn't really get into the gimmicky tools at first. Like I remember when the multi-tool, the oscillating multi-tool, as a lot of people call it now. I remember when that fucker first came out, and it was on like TV for like infomercials, and they were talking about how you could, and it even then I think was mainly uh, pitched at homeowners and maybe like DIY kind of guys. It wasn't really pitched as like a contractor's tool, but they were showing like what you could do. You could cut out a hole in the drywall to put a junction box in for a light switch, or whatever you needed to do. You could use the carbide tipped uh, wheel to cut tile, and you could do all this stuff. Um, but it was like a as seen on TV product, and it seemed like a gimmicky fucking thing, right? So that company, I'm sure at the time they had a patent. I forget what. I have to look that up and see what it was called and who made it, because it was like on an infomercial, and it was this gimmicky fucking thing, and nobody like really took it seriously. And then if you look now, like what is it, like 15 years later, or who knows how much later it is exactly, everybody's fucking got one. Every tool brand has one. DeWalt, they have corded, they have cordless, they have, everybody's got them. But at first, when everybody saw this thing, nobody nobody wanted to buy it from that inventor, so he came out with it on his own, and it became like an as seen on TV product. Now, I don't know. I'm assuming that most people waited until the licensing was up, or whatever have you, or they use the patent loophole where they make a small improvement in some way, shape, or form. But you can tell that everybody uses the same mount on those oscillating multi-tools, and that's been the same since the beginning, because in the infomercial, that was one of their talking points, was you could angle that blade or head or whatever you were putting on the end of that tool to reach or otherwise orient the tool in different ways. So yeah, I mean, the technology is still the same, and Ryobi is kind of like that company, right? Because when they really started expanding this product line that they have for the current 18 volt, 18 plus or whatever they call it, they started doing, like, they had the radio, and they had the other Bluetooth speakers that attach to it, and then they have the tire inflator, and they're the I want to say they even have like a cordless caulk gun now, and like they started doing all these kind of like weird tools in their cordless lineup, and I don't think at first a lot of people took it seriously, and but then people that were buying Ryobi see all these options. So, well, oh shit, I already got these batteries, and I can get this, and then I got a cordless, caulk gun, or my job site radio. It runs on the same batteries that my cordless tools do, and I can charge my phone with it. So, I mean, this started happening, and now you're starting to see a lot of these other companies starting to do the same thing that Ryobi was doing. Like, everybody's got a damn radio now. Everybody's got a cordless oscillating multi-tool. Everybody's starting to come up with these more specialty items for their collections, because Ryobi proved that if you make it, somebody's going to buy it. I mean, Ryobi's got, and I missed this when I was out shopping, what was that, Memorial Day, for my free tool when I was buying Ryobi batteries. I wanted that little trim router. That would have been awesome, but they were out of stock. I wanted the damn trim router. I mean, would I use it that much? No, probably not. But just to have a cordless trim router that you can just grab, slap a battery on it, hopefully it's got the bit already on it, and just run down some piece of wood, that's pretty fucking cool, in my opinion. And just, I think that's the thing with Ryobi, is there's just so many. I mean, and I'm still like, I'm in one of the Ryobi groups on Facebook. I think I'm in two of them, and I keep finding tools that I didn't know existed for the Ryobi lineup. Like, it's weird like that, because they have so much stuff, and they have a lot of good deals. Like, especially when the Ryobi days comes around, like I was saying, you can buy batteries, which, you can always use new batteries or more batteries, and you'll get like a free tool. Like, I bought, it's like a 2-pack of 3 amp hour batteries, and I got a free tool. And in that case, I think I bought the jigsaw, because I have the circular saw. I bought the jigsaw, and then for our anniversary, my fiance bought me the Cobalt circular saw for the 24 volt max. So I have that now. I have not used it yet, but I have it. So my Cobalt lineup is expanding. That seems to be my more hefty tools. And then my Ryobi is my go-to kind of drills and saws and things of that nature. So I think that's where everybody's at, man. Is everybody's copying what Ryobi's already doing. They're copying the style of so many tools under one battery, but Ryobi's got it because their blue 18-volt stuff, and I want to say that stuff ran off a NiCad. Uh, yeah, they probably did. The blue stuff though, uh, there was 18 volt versions of most of that stuff. So all of those old tools still work with the new lithium ion batteries. My not first drill, but one of the first drills I bought before I actually had the house and I needed a drill was the cheap Ryobi 12 volt. And I still have that thing. I just bought just the battery it came with. Ooh, that's not a bad idea. Maybe I'll do that one against the Hyper Tough. I don't know. But it's a 12 volt, it's NiCad battery, but I've had that thing for, God, again, like even longer than that, probably like 10 years at this point, is the old blue. I don't even think they sell it anymore. And the thing still works. I got the one battery that came with it, and that's what I use now. Does it have like a shit ton of power or anything? No. It's just a 12 volt. But for stuff around the house, I mean, it works just fine. So, like, I don't know, guys. The cheap tools really can be good. And I want to get to a better spot to where I can do more giveaways. As Robert says, I have lofty goals of hoping to get there maybe one day. But I think as I do more and more giveaways and hopefully make decent videos along the way, I'll gain some viewership and then I can get there. Because I've seen how some of these other channels, like some of these live streams, man, like the Den of Tools, Client Graphics. I mean, I'm guilty of it sometimes. I'll donate. When Client Graphics was going over his giant icon shopping spree thing originally, I donated to that because I felt like that man needed some money because he just dropped all that money on the icon tools. So I'll do it from time to time, but like the Den of Tools, man, I'll watch him do like a live stream and people are throwing $20, $50 at him, like, consistently over the course of his live stream sometimes. Other times maybe not as much, but... And I'm kind of thinking, like, that's backwards. Like, like, if I was doing lives, and let's say at that point I have a big fan base, and I have 100 people in this live, and people are donating me $5, $10, $20, $5, $10, $20 here and there during the course of this live stream. That to me, like, it seems kind of like almost underhanded. But then again, too, I'm not trying to do this for a living yet. I doubt I'll ever get there, but not with as much as I want to give away, at least. But the thing is, like, I wouldn't mind, like, getting that money if I was a channel that did, like, a shit ton of giveaways, right? Like, if somebody donated me $20 and they knew that chances are that was going to either go towards, like, some kind of cost I had to help run the channel, or it was going to go directly to a giveaway or something, like, I wouldn't feel as bad, you know. But if people are just donating me money and they have no idea where it's going to go or if I'm going to keep it or what I'm going to use it for, like, I mean, I'm not saying it's bad to do that, but it seems kind of not underhanded. It just, I don't know, it would make me feel weird if I was doing some live and got like a total of like $100, $200 in donations during the course of that live. It's, generally speaking, it's not very hard to do some of these lives, especially like this one. Been on here for almost 2 hours. Had one person, whoever this is, still hanging out. listening to me ramble. It's probably Robert because he said he just throws it on in the background. But these lives aren't that hard. If people were just throwing money at me for sitting here talking and bullshitting, then yeah, I would want to make sure that I gave that stuff away, that I paid it forward to people and viewers. So we'll see if I get there in the long run. Hopefully, my channel's growing pretty well, slowly but pretty well. So I think we're getting there. But it is 12:30. I'm gonna hop off here. I'm gonna get something to eat and get something done with my day. And I will talk at you guys later. I appreciate all of you guys for stopping by and hanging out as long as you did. It is much appreciated. And I will see you guys soon with another video and hopefully an update on that paint job for the truck. So, till then, guys, just wrench it.